Hello YouTube and welcome to a small Comic-Con haul video and a small Carboot haul video. So last week we sold at the Carboot sale, so we didn't have a lot of time to buy toys or any goodies, but we got a few little bits. And today, after the first Carboot sale, we drove an hour to go to a Comic-Con. Now it was very expensive to get in. It was £12.50, and they said that if you were a taxpayer in the UK, they can claim the tax back. So I said, yeah, that's fine. So I filled out a little form, and then they said, oh, and if you're doing that, then it's £13.25. So it's an extra 75p. So yeah, paid a lot of money. Got in there. They had 4 stalls. That was it, just 4 stalls. I got there about 12:30, and it started at 10:30, so I was 2 hours late. One stall just had a box that said Honesty Box, and everything was priced. They had one box with very little left in it, but had these little bits at the bottom, and it said 25p each. So we bought this Ultraman, this bootleg wrestling figure, these two Soma 1986 figures, this one actually with all his clothing, and this beautiful boy. This is a very hard to find bootleg. He is definitely worth more than 25 pence. They also had a Battle Beast, always love Battle Beasts. Had this one Micro Machine, and this other one here. This is like some mecha stamp thing. They had these 4 monsters in my pockets, and then for £1 they had these 1980s miniatures, which are actually Micro Machine figurines. They also had these 2 ice cream tubs, very old vintage ice cream tubs, full of like old school, well, not that old school, but Warhammer stuff of some description. Some of them are a bit odd. So these ones I think are like the kind that play football, like American football. And then this one's different from all the others. He's like a solid red colour. And then all of this pile here and a big chunk of those over there. These all look like elves of some kind. Some sort of high elf sort of character. And then there's a small amount of orcs there. They wanted £1 a tub. And then they had this. This is a Mighty Max playset. It has some of the pieces in there, but it doesn't have all of the pieces. Obviously, the bits that you want to find are like Mighty Max himself and like all his little mates. But really, all they had was that one, this thing, but he's wedged in. But that was £2, so I ended up paying £6.50 for the whole lot. And that was all I bought. That was the only stuff that was there. People came over and said, oh yeah, we had the whole table full of stuff, and there was just dregs left by the time I got there. The bloke said, because it was all for charity, we were selling things very cheap. He had the Star Wars R2-D2 with the extending lightsaber, and he said, I think it's worth about £100, but yeah, we sold everything for 25p because it was all for charity. Didn't make any sense. Really gutted I didn't get there sooner, because God knows what they would have had. Didn't expect to be finding bargains at Comic-Con, but still really, really chuffed to find this guy. I think I actually already have him, and it's a duplicate. But still, really nice find, including the £13.25 and this £16.50. I ended up paying £20 basically for this whole lot, which I mean for this one is probably worth it alone. And do some investigating on this one, because he might be worth a couple of quid. Who knows? And I forgot to film this. This was in today's first Carboot haul. It was £4. It's one big... Well, the guy called it potato. I don't think it's potato. It's just some sort of gemstone. And then this little pile here is what we found last week. Carboot Collectors sold me this. This is old school He-Man Bad Guys playset. He also had these 2 figurines. These were sold in, these were sold in like Home Bargains or something. And he said our friend Paulie Poo collects them. I just quite like the look of them. They're obviously very modern, but still funky looking action figures. And then you've got this dude, funky looking fellow who makes some noise. And he came with a big machine gun. Alright, yeah, we get it. So he sold me that for £5, the playset and the 2 figurines. Big Belly bum bag, I think that was 50p. I spent £1 on this. It's obviously missing one of them, but they're like tiny little Disney miniatures, like sort of Mighty Max sized little pieces. Got some real bargain Pokemon cards, and then some that I paid a bit of money for. So these were 50p each. You got this Eevee, this Frostmoth, this All Night Party, and this Genghis Khan EX. Oh, I don't know where the Farfetch came from. But yeah, I spent £1.50 on those. These were a little bit more. I genuinely can't remember how much I paid for these. I think these were £1 each. And then I think the others were like 10p each. And I bought ones that I thought looked like they might be worth a couple of quid, or would be helpful for actually playing the game. That's an old school Team Rocket one there. Rocky helmet, and a Frostmoth. So yeah, I think I spent £3 on the other ones there. Bought these 50p each. This is an old school Gengar figurine, and an old school sort of G.I. Joe figurine for the 80s. And then the only other thing I got was this Iron Man fighting Captain America. Now, he is missing his arm there, but I have the arm. They did have the arm, but they said it got broken in transit. They said they wanted a tenner for it, because he had a broken arm, it was £3. So I thought, I'm going to glue the arm back on, and then it'd be a nice piece. Didn't realise Captain America had lost both of his sort of wings there as well. But overall, once that arm's glued back on, don't think it's bad for £3. It's very heavy. It's a big heavy thing, and on the bottom it says Captain America, Iron Man, Marvel. But yeah, very heavy, big chunky thing. So that is last week's tiny little car boot haul, and this week's Toy Fair finds. I am really kicking myself. I really wanted to know what else he had, and 25p each. I wish I'd just gone down there straight away, sort of 10:30, just walk straight in and be like, I will buy everything. But who knew? And if we'd done that, then you know how much of the goodies that we got later on at the car boot would we not have got? Who knows? But yeah. Anyway, I'm going to put all of this away and tidy up as we do. And yeah, we'll speak to you again. Bye, guys.